Insects can be some of the most annoying creatures on Earth. No one enjoys the feeling of an ant crawling up on them or scratching a mosquito bite. In our previous content, videos, and podcasts, we've talked about how mosquitoes are the deadliest creatures in the world, spreading malaria and other deadly diseases via blood transmissions. Other insects kill us via stings. For example, wasp and bees initiate an allergic reaction, and a few unlucky humans have met an unfortunate death by Africanized killer bees that have chased them down for miles. Clearly, insects aren't the most pleasant creatures on Earth to coexist with. So, what would happen if we just deleted them all from the face of the Earth? Unfortunately for us, the cons far outweigh the pros. It would be unwise to delete insects from Earth. Sure, we wouldn't have any more mosquito bites or pests in the home, but this is what really would happen. First, the plants. Most people don't know this, but 80% of the world's plant life is called angiosperms, otherwise known as flowering plants. This means that male sperm from one plant must be transferred to a female plant. The problem being, of course, that plants can't move and do this on their own. The majority of pollination is done by insects, including bees, butterflies, beetles, and even flies. So this would create a very negative chain effect that would devastate humanity and likely bring about a post-apocalyptic world. And unfortunately, these are not extreme claims. This is backed by science. With plants unable to easily reproduce, we wouldn't live in a non-leafy world. The effects reach much farther than that. For example, 50 to 90% of the human diet, depending on the country, comes directly from flowering plants. Angiosperms include grains like rice and wheat, as well as fruits and vegetables. Imagine all of that just disappearing and not reproducing so easily. The effects go even further. Maybe you're not a veggie eater. Maybe you don't like vegetables and you love meat. How would this affect you? Well, most other animals on Earth are directly related to angiosperms in that they eat angiosperms for survival. It's not that you would have to give up fruits, vegetables, rice, and wheat-related products. Suddenly, the animals that ate these products for survival would begin to die off or become extremely scarce as well. The chain effect doesn't end there as well. We have birds and other animals. Several types of animals primarily eat insects, or it's a key part of their diet. Without insects for these animals to eat, such as birds, their populations would quickly diminish or go extinct, further breaking the balance of our current ecosystem. As you can see, humanity would experience a massive food shortage. It's not extreme to say that likely wars would break out as people fight to death over the remaining resources. But it gets even worse than this. Not only would humanity suffer a massive starvation problem, dead things would decompose at a much slower rate because insects wouldn't be cleaning up the dead stuff. Dead bodies, dead trees, dead animals, dead everything would hang around much longer than they currently do. This dead stuff would prevent new life from taking their place. It would also increase disease and all kinds of other problems. It would just not be a very pleasant Earth to live in. Instead of dealing with all kinds of insects biting you, you might deal with dead things everywhere. Some believe that all life would cease to exist on Earth within 50 years of insects disappearing. Personally, I don't necessarily agree with that because there are other plants that exist that aren't angiosperms that could simply survive via photosynthesis or other processes. It's likely that life would bounce back somehow. However, it is certain to say that the modern world as we know it would disappear following the extinction of all insects. The chain effects created by the eradication of insects would make extinct many animals and cause a massive food shortage. The world as we know it would break down due to the massive hunger and competition for the remaining resources. So believe it or not, your life is actually highly dependent on insects. Despite some of them also killing millions of people every single year via diseases like malaria and eating through our current food supplies, they are surprisingly necessary for us to survive. Without insects, a lot more bad could happen. So next time you see that annoying mosquito, I'm not saying not to kill it. just kill it with a little bit of compassion. All that being said, we still should not have to deal with pests. I hate them, I don't want to get bit, and there's always that very small risk that they transmit a disease to you. So we at Wildlife X Team would love to delete all insects from your home. So if you have a pest-related problem or animal-related problem of any kind, give us a call at 855-WILDLIFE or visit www.wildlifexteam, because we would love to get rid of these for you. We may have to deal with them out in nature, but we don't have to deal with them in your home. Thank you so much, and we'll see you later. Bye.
They're out there looking for a home, and they've found one. Yours. They want that cozy place in your attic or under your foundation. Give them enough time, and you'll be paying big bucks to fix their damage. Wildlife X Team specializes in removal and prevention of wildlife infestation, responsibly and professionally. Wildlife X Team has earned the top-rated award from Home Advisors because they're experts at what they do. Just one call, and they're gone. 855-WILDLIFE or wildlifexteam.com.